What's up, guys? Welcome to Lone Star College Football. Today we got me, Logan Patterson, and my boy Christian Harrington over here representing Texas. Man, this Saturday we had UTSA Roadrunners come to Austin to DKR and lose to the Texas
Yeah,
Longhorns.
yeah.
Um, Christian, what's some things that stood out to you, bud?
Man, what stood out to me, I didn't even actually know this about UTSA going into the game, is their quarterback, Frank Harris. He's a stud.
I told you he was dope.
That guy, I'm looking at his season stats. Week 3, he's already got 918 yards
He came in with almost
passing.
700.
Right. I mean, 131 yards. Right. He's at almost he's 1,050 total yards of offense in 3 games between his rushing and his passing.
Give him the Heisman.
It's kind of a, I mean, kind of 6 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing, 2 interceptions. He had one last night, so 68%. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I feel like he should transfer if he has another year of eligibility. He should probably transfer up. He's a senior, but he should have a COVID
he should
year.
have one or two.
Yeah, he should
Well,
at
no, he
least
didn't have
have
a
a
red
COVID
shirt.
year.
Yeah,
So I think he should transfer up, but that's just me.
for sure.
The rest of the team, I was impressed by their offensive line. I know they were
Hmm.
hurt. They had like 3 injuries during the game. Their offensive line stood up and played well ish. We'll get to Texas's pass rush in a minute because they got actually a lot of pass rush. They just weren't able to get to the quarterback, and that's more of a uh, kudos to Harris.
Yeah,
But just getting to the rushing and receiving, I really don't want to spend too much time talking about them. I want to talk about Texas and what I saw from them. Rushing, uh, their running back for the season, averaging their starters only averaging 3.4, backups at 5. Oh, well, that's the quarterback. Never mind. Backups at 3.9. So rushing is not great, but receiving, dude, they've already got 3 receivers over 200 yards, averaging 12, 12, 11. Another receiver at almost 12. I mean, it's actually a pretty high powered offense
yeah. They were a good team
for
last year.
UTSA. Yeah, they were, and they were 12-2 last year, and they'll have to run the table the rest of the season to finish that way now. But
Which I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't either.
That's a
If they
good
played
team.
like they did last night, yeah, they could do it.
But
They
yeah,
can do it. Go ahead.
before we
What do you
before
got?
we move on, I just want to go ahead and talk about Frank Harris real quick. So my bold prediction was that y'all's defense would give up 200 passing yards, and I was right by 22 yards. Man,
Well,
I didn't want that to be right, but ESPN showed me it was 24 for 35, 222 passing yards, no touchdowns and one interception. But their backup came in. He threw 100, or he threw not 100 yards. He threw one touchdown, 35 yards.
it's
Um,
actually a receipt. That was their running back. Bradley is their running back. They had one pass behind the line, and then he slung it deep.
I must have been
Should
texting
have
Luca during that play.
Probably. It should have
Yeah.
been a pick. Ryan Watts. They're running. It's underthrown as crap,
Mm,
and Ryan Watts over like the receiver's running. He overruns the play and tries to reach back and just can't get a hand on it, and it just kind of falls in the guy's hand.
no, man.
Really should have been a pick. If Ryan Watts had flipped his head a second sooner, it'd have been a pick.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, y'all gave up total 269 yards. I was just looking at Frank Harris at the moment.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Frank Harris is a dog. I told you before the
he
game in
is.
our pregame that he had almost 700 yards on the season in 2 games. Um, their offense is very high powered. They came out and they played really good in the first half for sure. I think they had 17 in the first half. Yeah, in the second half they were making good drives. They just couldn't get into the end zone, which is kudos to y'all's defense for sure. Yeah, I was impressed with their offensive line. I tried to watch the game as much as I could. I was over at Christian's house and I had to chase around my son most of the night. But
Yeah,
It's all
it's
good.
all
We
good.
had a good time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. My thing about this game um, is a tale of two halves, and really, in a way, it's even worse. It's even like a tale of a quarter and a half and then 2.5 quarters. Because in the
Mhm.
first quarter and a half, UTSA had 17 points, and Texas had 7. And then after that point, we went on a 34-3 run. And we didn't score any points in the first quarter, but we scored 17 in the second, 14 in third, 10 in the fourth. Man, the game was watching the game. I was pretty stressed because it looked close for some reason. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
close, and it shouldn't
that
have been.
first half made it feel like it was close the whole time.
Yeah. But here's where man, we we really defensively played well, except for that second quarter. And even then, we gave up a field goal. They scored a touchdown, and then they got the onside kick and scored another
Yeah,
touchdown. And that's what let them kind of start running away to make it 17-7. Coach Sark, he was not phased at all. We did what we needed to do. Halftime adjustments were great to only give up a field goal in the second half. Man, I just really feel like we could have scored so much if Frank Harris was just a little bit worse at getting
yeah,
out of the pocket. I think we could have scored 60 on these dudes. Not that they're a bad team, just that guy. It's like we would get QB hurry after QB hurry after QB hurry. It says we only had 4. It just felt like we had 4 every drive, and
yeah, for sure.
he just had a way of getting out. I mean, there's plays where he's got, we've got a guy just reaching for him as he throws the ball. Guy, putting a move on the right tackle as he throws the ball. And it's just like, just give us another half second. We're probably there.
There's no way y'all
Uh,
only had one sack.
yeah, we only had 1 sack. Well, we had one
Really?
other sack, but it got called for targeting on DeMarvion
Oh, on
Overshown,
Marvion,
which that'll
which
be
was crap.
reviewed. Uh, I don't know who ref that game, but they need to be fired.
Yeah, that was
It's the worst
crap.
targeting call I've ever seen in my life. That's ridiculous. Um,
Yeah, the thing is that the ref didn't even call it on the field. It was a booth initiated review, which was
yeah, yeah.
crap. Like it,
And then they watched the face masks hit and said, "Yeah,
yeah,
that can stand."
he was
I'm
just
pretty
trying to
sure it'll
kiss
get
him. That's
overturned.
it. It better do because if he's out for half the game, who do y'all play? I forget
We play Tech and love it.
that. I don't think that was gonna hurt y'all too bad, but it could
It will.
potentially.
That's Big 12. We need them. No, we need
Yeah,
them.
I mean
Like,
it's
okay, wait. Oh, golly. I thought DeMarvion Overshown had a great game. He had
dude
10
Ford.
tackles, but Jalen Ford had 15?
I didn't see that coming at all, and 10 of them were
I didn't
solo
either.
tackles.
Jalen Ford, is he number 41? I saw, yeah, I saw number
He was
41
all over the
running
field.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see that, dude. Freaking
DeMarvion would
love
have
it.
had more because that happened in like the third quarter, I think.
Dude, he's got 25 on the season. So he's gotten another 10 in the last 2 games. Last season, he only had 53. Bro, he only had 53 tackles and 29 solos. And then just last night, he got 10 solo. Hey, man, I hope for a
That's
great
good
season for
for
Jalen
sure.
Ford. But that's enough on the defense. I appreciate what they did. Actually, one more thing on the defense. We've played 3 games. We've given up a total of 10 to ULM, 20 to Bama, and 20 to UTSA. That's going to average us somewhere around 17 and a half points per game given up right
That's
now.
pretty good.
After 3 weeks, cannot be mad at Texas. That's pretty good. But player of the game, without a doubt, Mr. Bijan Robinson.
Bro.
Dude, 20 carries for 183 yards, 9.2 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Long as 78, longest of his career. Looked like the man was jogging, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Uh, I love that dude. I don't know as if there's been a player for Texas. Like Xavier Worthy's my favorite player because he's a receiver. I was a receiver. But I don't think there's been a player for Texas that I wanted to see be successful more, not because of as good of a player he is, just the person that he is. Really hope he has just a great season. He gets
Yeah.
drafted high, man. But Hudson Card came in, wasn't really expecting him to start until a couple hours before the game. Kind of got announced. I was expecting Charles Wright. Um, how do you feel about Hudson Card? What do you think? I know you didn't get
I
to
mean,
watch all of it, but
the part that I did watch, he looked healthy. Like he played pretty good
yeah,
in my opinion. I mean, 15 for 23, 161 yards, one touchdown, and no turnovers. Um,
a
I think he
32
played pretty
yard
good.
run.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He
Yeah.
had a really good run for 32 yards, which I did not. He didn't look like he was limping or anything whenever he did it either, because I did get
Mm,
to catch that one. But yeah, he looked healthy. He was making good reads, good decisions. He wasn't putting the ball in harm's way for the most part. Um, I think he played really good as far as
yeah.
um, I, we saw Quinn Ewers on the sideline in full pads,
Suited
stressed
up
out,
too.
like moving his
I'm
arm. It
I'm willing
looked
to
good. It looked
I'm
good,
willing to
but
bet Quinn was available if we needed him.
probably because
And that makes
he
me
would have been in
happy for
street
next week.
clothes. Yeah, he would have been in
Yeah.
street clothes for sure. They just didn't want to risk anything. I'm sure.
And that it makes me happy for next week because when you look at their season stats, and Quinn has played a total of he played 2 full quarters in week 1. He played 2 drives in week 2, and that's it. Hudson Card has played the rest. So Hudson Card has played 3. Yesterday he played the whole game, so he's played 7 quarters opposed to Quinn Ewers's. You could call
Two
it
and a
3.
half.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3. And Quinn has a 3.4 percent better completion percentage, 3.1 more yards per completion, uh, 16 more yards on 8 less passes, a longer passing, like his longest play is longer, more touchdowns. He does have a pick, but it's just kind of like you've
But that
got
was like his
quarterbacks who's
second
played
drive,
three
wasn't it?
quarters. His first,
First,
his
it was his
second ever
second
pass.
pass. Yeah.
You've got a quarterback who's played 2.5 to 3 quarters and 7 quarters, and this one's stats are still better. I feel like he's a special kid,
I
and
want to see Quinn play.
I'm excited for Big 12 play. But if he's not healthy, please, coach, don't rush it.
Oh
We
yeah,
should let Hudson Card do it if we need to. If we
Hudson
have to
can
take
get it
an
done
L,
against Tech.
if we have to take an L to let Quinn be healthy and him stay healthy the rest of the season, I'd rather take an L against Iowa or against Tech and then Quinn come back healthy the next week than us let Quinn come in and him get hurt.
You're gonna want him to be
That's
back for that next week. Still have Oklahoma week 5, right?
yeah, I think so. So goodness, do we? I think
I
we
think
do
I
actually.
think Carter's gonna get it done against Tech if he has to. Now Oklahoma, their defense is looking a lot
So
stronger.
actually, you know what? We might be we've got Tech and then West Virginia and then Oklahoma. So we've got 2 more kind of like bottom tier Big 12 teams before we have to go to Oklahoma or play in Dallas. I'm not mad at that.
Hey, that
Hmm.
helps.
We're opening up at only a 4.5 point favorite over Tech. It's interesting. It's very interesting considering their quarterback has 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But
Does
we'll
it
get to
say what the
that.
money line is? Because I might be putting the house on that.
Money line is minus 190 to Texas, plus 185 to Tech. Over under 60. If Quinn plays, give it over. But man, that's all I've got. You got anything else on them?
Um, I want to throw out there that Hudson Card's completion percentage could be a lot better. There was a lot of drop passes that shouldn't have been dropped, and there was a lot that were like, if he just would have moved it over like 2 or 3 inches, it was
Yeah.
it was a it was a great throw. it was just one of those things that it's kind of like you got to still work in with your receivers because you're not the starter, but you still got to. It's one of those things you still got to catch a feel for. So Hudson Card's a good quarterback. I think he's a great backup, probably
He
like
is.
top tier backup for sure. I
He
want to see
is
him at least
because
play a
he's
little
a.
bit, but
I would
that's
love to
just
see
me.
him
That's
like
just me.
Hudson Card's a good backup because he's not only is he talented, but he's actually on the team's leadership committee as a backup. So when he comes in, the team doesn't. I don't feel like they get the sense of they're at a disadvantage. I feel like they've got
Yeah.
a the next player up mentality. I mean, he's a leader in the locker room, in the weight room, and on the field. He may not be as talented as the starter. That's
Mm-hmm.
just the way it goes sometimes. But you come in and you've got your head on right, you can still play well, and he's showing
Yeah,
that. So
for sure.
I tell you that all the Texas fans, nobody is mad at Hudson Card right now. We're all pretty
No.
happy with what he's done so far this season. But yeah, we're gonna get into give any of y'all who made it this far. We're recording this on Sunday night, so tomorrow will be Monday when this video and our Baylor post game gets posted. We're gonna try to record Monday and post Tuesday our new poll for Lone Star polls. Thursday we'll try to post our pre games for Baylor in Iowa and Texas in Waco, and then Friday we'll come out with our Lone Star locks and
We
roll with it that way for the week.
we might try to sneak in a live here and there. It just depends on how our schedules match up. But
Yeah, I would like to do live. Those are fun. Just sometimes they take a while.
yeah,
That's the
for
problem.
sure. That's what hurts the
So,
most of it.
all
But
right, y'all
yeah,
can find him at L Patterson _3. You can find me at Christian H _88. And you can find our channel on Twitter at Lone Star _CFB. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Hook 'em.